about 7 months after starting the course, I found what is now my new job, having just handed in my resignation. So in 3 months, I'll start my new role. So my name's Adam, I'm from the UK. Before joining Remote Rebellion, I had been looking for a new job for approximately about a year. And the ultimate hope was that I could gain more flexibility in the way I worked. So I was 100% office-based and had been all the way through COVID. Seeing my wife with more flexible work certainly made me aspire to get there. I found it quite difficult knowing what a good CV looks like and pulling that together, but also just seemingly firing off job applications a bit willy-nilly. So got minimal traction. I had a couple of interviews, but nothing came through to anything that I was ultimately really excited about. It's so competitive at the moment. You see jobs and there's hundreds of people going for roles. So it's kind of you have to try and nick any advantage you can. And I think applying, or certainly my experience, just sending off a CV doesn't get you anywhere. You kind of really need to get somebody to bring you to the top of the pile. I was looking for at least a year, and I think I'd had one interview in that time frame. And then since joining the course, I suppose I joined 6-7 months ago. In the first 3 months, I was kind of doing the course, not necessarily applying. So getting myself up to speed, going through the modules, really getting my CV right. Then I started to do applications. And at first I was doing a little bit of spray and pray kind of method. So just applying, if that makes, and sending off. And after not really getting much feedback and stuff like that, that's where it was a case of, right, let me revisit some of those networking modules and just sit down and listen to it. In terms of the recruiters, I started to get exactly what I was looking for. So it was this sort of business with this kind of working culture, with this level of flexibility, for this pay, to work with this customer sort of thing. I'm getting a little bit more than what I was on before, but it's sort of over 6 figures. It's a 6-figure salary, so it's sort of a decent paid job. 7 months after starting the course, I found what is now my new job, having just handed in my resignation. So in 3 months, I'll start my new role. The course really helped my LinkedIn profile and the CV, being able to share that with the community and gain the feedback and do it a couple of times, get a couple of iterations through. It really worked well for me. So since then, and since completing that and sharing my CV to either a recruiter or to my network sort of thing of a former colleague, I've always had really strong feedback, which has been really positive. The course, I suppose, made me actually stop and think, going through some of the modules and understanding what I wanted. And I suppose the benefits were slightly different to than what I thought. It was less around you guys putting job opportunities to me and then me selecting. It wasn't like that. It was more around upping my skill set, around about being job ready in my search, getting profiles up to date, thinking about who to speak with and being more proactive rather than, oh yeah, these guys are going to send me some jobs and there's going to be some that are relevant to me. It was getting me kind of up to speed in terms of being able to job hunt. Quite frankly, just a huge difference in my life. Instead of sitting in cars and commute, instead of having a big chunk of working life in an office, I'm going to have more flexibility. I'm going to be able to go out. I'm going to be also spend more time with the family. So I think I'll become much better at my job because I think it'll be more inspiring that I can actually be more flexible, so I can work in different areas. So instead of thinking what's happening over there, I can actually physically go there sort of thing, rather than going, oh, I've got to go to the office. Flexibility that it gives me to work from home. My wife works from home, so we're setting up the house accordingly, but it means that both of us can work together. We can find offices to work and things like that. Bring that ease into your life rather than I've actually only got Saturday and Sunday. The course is something you've always got access to. You've got a community where you can tap into other people's experiences. Even if you don't necessarily contribute in calls, it's a great way of hearing what else everybody else is going through, the ups and the downs, so that normalizes the emotional roller coaster. You've got to take positive steps if you want to change your working life, and take those positive steps. You do have to invest in yourself, and Remote Rebellion is a good way of doing that.